Well, the next 12 months are going to tell us whether we have the built-in capacity in the American economy to come back at all. I think that we are now in a situation where it's unlikely that the economy will regenerate in the next 12 months. And then it's really going to be a question of what ideas are put forward and by whom for the American electorate. The Republicans do not have enough votes on their own to be able to win that election. They have to persuade independents and moderates that they're the better answer. That will in turn depend upon who their candidate is and what kinds of positions he or she takes. I don't think Sarah Palin's going to run. If she did run, I think she would not be successful. I think Michelle Bachmann's not going to be successful. I think you really have a three-way race with really Romney and Perry as the primary contestants, and with the possibility of Huntsman, the former governor of Utah, being a kind of default choice if Romney and Perry kill each other off. Well, economic stagnation is the more difficult question because we have to overcome that in order to move forward. But political gridlock is preventing us from moving on economic stagnation. And therefore, before you can really address the problem of economic stagnation, you have to resolve the polarization that is basically deadlocking our political system and making it totally dysfunctional. I think that the damage done by the horrific performance of the Congress in response to the debt ceiling crisis really hurt Obama as much as it hurt the Republicans. Certainly the public opinion polls hold Congress in contempt, and they deserve to be held in contempt because they persistently and adamantly refused to do anything that was a compromise. And Obama had reached a point of compromise with Boehner, the Speaker, on a $4 trillion package, but then Boehner walked away from it because it involved some revenue increases. 1/4 of the total of $4 trillion was going to be from revenue increases. The Republicans are betting a whole lot on the idea that if no one looks good, they benefit. And they expect and anticipate that most Americans will not have a very long memory, and they won't realize that this crisis was really created by the overspending of the Bush administration, the lowering of taxes, the economic crisis that happened in 2008, 2009, and that is something they will forget about, and they'll blame Obama. I think what Obama has done is to renew a more aggressive, assertive, engaged, and energetic commitment to change things. I think his speech to the Congress 2 weeks ago was an effective manner of taking control of the agenda as far as he could and demanding that the Congress respond, because the national interest in getting the jobs for people who have been unemployed for 2 years, the national interest should prevail over partisan interest. And he was essentially advancing a series of programs that for the most part had been endorsed by Republicans in the past. There has to be some reason why bipartisan conversations can once again come forward. Now, it's not that it don't exist. If you look at the report of the Simpson-Bowles Deficit Reduction Commission, that was a bipartisan commission, and it came forward with a very solid plan, which was going to pain a lot of people, but it was going to make a difference. If you look at the Gang of Six in Congress, 3 Democrats, 3 Republican senators, they came forward with a similar plan. The Republicans in the House totally refused to talk about that. The real question is, does anyone have the courage to step forward and say the good of the country is more important than the special interest of my party?